What's happening, guys? Welcome back. On this segment, let's talk about Tony Ferguson working with David Goggins. Be uncommon amongst uncommon men. Damn, I love that quote. That's from David Goggins. The guy's a complete savage. For those of you who don't know David Goggins, he's a former Special Forces soldier turned motivational figure. He's an extreme athlete, runs these crazy endurance marathons, has broken multiple world records. One of them was a pull-up world record. I've read his book, Can't Hurt Me. The guy's an inspiration. I love David Goggins. He's a dude who doesn't give a damn, speaks his mind, completely non-PC, and I love it. So how can he help Tony Ferguson? Not gonna lie, that was a collab that I didn't see coming. I saw them working together. I'm like, what the heck? First I saw pictures, then I saw videos of Tony Ferguson throwing up his guts due to, for sure, the grueling workouts that David Goggins is putting him through. Now, Tony Ferguson has been known to have extreme cardio for mixed martial arts. That's like one of his weapons and kind of like a signature attached to him, cardio. Cardio and conditioning is David Goggins' thing. And a lot of people, I think, are associating Tony Ferguson working with David Goggins for the cardio and conditioning aspect solely. I saw a post by Luke Thomas, the MMA personality. He says that, and I'm paraphrasing, he was curious on how David Goggins would help Tony in his fight career. So my stance on that is, when you have somebody that is an extreme endurance athlete like that, 90% of that is your mind, not your body. Sure, you have to condition yourself, but as David Goggins himself points out, when you feel like you're at your limit, you're really only at 40%. And this is the guy that's lived it, that's done it, proven that. He's proven that the mind has control over the body. So I think that Tony's working with him more so for the mental aspect. Now, here's the thing. Tony Ferguson, he's tough. He's one of the toughest fighters to ever compete in the sport. So that might be confusing also, like, why would Tony Ferguson work with David Goggins for the mental toughness aspect? Well, here's my theory. So Tony Ferguson has been on a losing skid. I don't care who you are. When you go on a skid like that, when you're dropping fights, it has to take a hit on your confidence. And without confidence in life, and especially in the cage, you're nothing. You're done. If you're doubting yourself, if you don't have confidence, that's going to really hurt you in the cage. So even guys like Tony Ferguson can lose that mental edge and have to go back to the roots of savagery. Kind of like how Rocky in Rocky 3, he lost to Clubber Lang because he was sleeping in silk sheets. Then has to go back to the roots, the streets. He went to go work with Apollo. He went to like this gritty Philly boxing gym. And they got down and dirty. Rocky got his edge back. That's what I think Tony Ferguson is trying to do. So when you're on a treadmill, when you're running miles with David Goggins, you want to quit, you want to throw up, you want to collapse, and you don't. Goggins pushes you to continue on, shows you that you have more in the tank. That's more mental training than anything. And I guess Tony feels like he needs that. Now, with Tony being on his losing skid, I think it's a combination of two things. I think it's him physically not being the same Tony Ferguson that he was before. And I think that started after the Justin Gaethje fight. That fight was absolutely brutal. I think that took a lot out of Tony. Hated watching that fight for Tony's sake, even though I'm a Gaethje fan. I think his reaction times are off, slower. His speed overall, he's slower. Timing is off. Then, that doesn't help with your confidence taking a hit. So all in all, if what you're doing isn't working, yes, there has to be change. You have to do things differently. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So Tony, I guess he felt in his heart, he had to change it up. He had to do something completely out of the box, work with someone not in his field, an extreme athlete in David Goggins, and just a bad mofo. He was Special Forces as well. I feel like Ferguson thinks he'll get something out of that to get him back on track. Is that going to be the case against Paddy Pimblett? Not sure. Honestly, truthfully, I love Tony Ferguson. I really would like to see him hang it up. I think a prime Tony Ferguson would run through Paddy Pimblett right now. The Paddy Pimblett that we see of today, I think Tony at his best was one of the best mixed martial arts fighters to ever do it. Certainly at lightweight. That Tony beats Paddy. Tony of today, not sure. And it sucks to say that. No hate on Paddy Pimblett. I actually think he's talented. But you never know, that guy could become champ one day. But back to Ferguson and David Goggins. Look guys, I would love to see a Tony Ferguson resurgence. Him to find the missing piece of that puzzle to get himself back on track. Is this the answer working with David Goggins? Only time will tell. We'll see when the Paddy Pimblett fight goes down. But you guys let me know in the comment section, what do you think about this collab? Do you think it's going to help Tony or do you think it's going to hurt Tony? I've seen opposing views. You even got fighters saying that this may actually hurt Tony. I think he's doing it for the mental edge to push through difficult positions and situations in a fight, whether it be a striking engagement, whether it be submissions, or just like outworking somebody. Definitely don't think it's just for the physical cardio aspect. But you guys let me know in the comment section. Appreciate you watching the segment. And until next time, my friends, you all take care. Later.